Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Jigokuraku episode number 13 and this is my reaction to the final episode of this season. Alright, so what happened the previous episode is that we get to see Sagiri and his group and her group go to the Horai, and quite a few things got revealed. First of all, the fact that the whole elixir and stuff like that, those are all kind of like like a lot of bunch of lies. Like technically not lies. They do kind of use the tongue to actually enhance their like so that they can live forever and all that. However, though they won't work on people who are just ordinary people. So that's one thing. And a few other things we also got to know, that the whole thing where like Hoko, for example, where he was like, oh, I can go to the Horai after I my soul like departs from my body. He was like the Tencent was like, oh no, that doesn't happen, that was also a lie, you were just experiments, like guinea pigs for us to experiment upon. So these are the few big revelations we got. Also, we got to see the battle between all of them, and Sagiri and Yuzuriha were able to kind of push the Tencent a lot. Senta also helped. However, they didn't know that this freaking thing has a second health bar. So defeated him, and they were like, oh, let's just sit down and talk about everything. And then yeah, like we get a little bit of Senta's backstory, and then unfortunately, to save Yuzuriha, he sacrificed himself. Senta was the type of person who really admired Yuzuriha's way of life, and yeah, he had to save Yuzuriha for just because of that reason, because to him Yuzuriha shined brightly. And immediately it was like his death, like he technically isn't fully dead, but he's going to be, I'm pretty sure, like flowers and everything are like popping out of his face. And thankfully by the end of it, Shion comes in and actually cuts off the Densen. So I'm guessing we're probably going to have to run away from here, because I doubt even Shion could do anything to this monster. But let's see what happens. Episode number 13, let us get started. I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Alright, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Yeah, there you go. Oh boy. Yep. Alright, but yeah. And another thing, this is the first time we've actually met someone, some other group. Oh wait, can we save him? I don't know. Oh yeah, Sagri does know, because yep. He calls them waves. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Okay, maybe he can actually kill this thing. I don't know. Okay, I'm not really sure. At first, I was like, oh, I doubt Shion could do anything in this situation. Maybe the only thing we can do now here is like run. But seems like he's pretty like proficient in his knowledge of uh, the waves, as he calls it. So yeah, let's see. Maybe we can actually deal an actual like killing blow. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Hmm. Oh my god. His eyes are like. Okay. Shion is still fighting. Oh boy. Certain creature. Oh yeah, the other Tencent, I see. Oh my god. Whoa, oh my god, this place is just. Damn. Oh, nice. Wait. Oh! He's holding on to his. Holding on to Nurgai's hair. Yeah, because he's using his Tao. Yeah, and it's compatible. Oh no, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, when did he. What the hell? When did that happen? Oh no! I guess you can do it because you're using Tao to actually cut it off. Oh my god. Um. Oh my god. Oh my god. Mm. Oh my god. Wait, wasn't. What? Yeah? Um. The hell is she doing? Wait, is that like her Tao? Is she like a healer or something? She's a healer. She's. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's why it didn't work on Yuzuriha. Yeah, that didn't work on Yuzuriha, but it worked on Sagiri. Alright. No, what the hell? Oh, like it's what's usually has. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah. Wait. Look. Oh, okay. So it's acting like a defensive layer. Oh wow. Whoa. Damn. All right. She has trained a lot. You can see. Yeah. Nice. Ooh. Yeah. Hmm. All right. Focus. Yeah. I was trying to get nice. Oh, we got this thing again. Yeah. Damn. Oh, nice. All right. There you go. Yo. Oh, he fell. Okay, nice. Yeah, because. Huh. Maybe it's running out of juice. Oh, oh, because like she's using it continuously. Oh God. Damn. Uh, no, but he needs to embrace both. Like, he's only having like negative. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, we got both the hands. All right, here we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. Did it like okay, like focus on from where the oh the ovule. Oh, I see. Interesting. Oh, he has learned so much about. Okay. Nice. Oh, did he get it? Yes. Come on. Yes. Just death and life. Damn. Rien is okay. Wait. So we actually got one. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh boy, that was something. Damn, these people like are so like the Tencent. They're like so like into like oh like I need more knowledge. I want to perfect this thing that they don't even care about life and death. It makes sense. They've been living for so long. Life and death like holds so less meaning to them. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh my god. It probably won't work like that. Overcome. Yeah, like his eyes and everything. Mm. Ah. Mm. Yeah, let's just get out from here. Like this place is just. Yeah. Right. Well, here Gabimaru is with these guys. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, he's a ninja, so he has been trained like that. Halfway up the valley. Wow. Can't remember what. Wait, are we going more in? Shouldn't we go back? What's happening? Why are we going inside? Oh wait, are we trying to come outside? I don't know. What's happening? No, we're going. Guys, this is the enemy. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Focus on reviewing what information. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Hmm. Yeah, if she uses it like too much, it's taking out his life force. Yo, he's just tormenting. Oh my god, that's why. So Godmother doesn't remember, that's why. Yeah. No, I don't know. Is that, who knows? Like, if illusion. Yeah, maybe. Like, they're freaking ninjas. Uh, yeah, that might be it. Wow. Yeah. What? 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 Yeah, but still. Oh my god, what the hell? Wait, so his whole memory is gone? Does he know that he's a ninja? Yeah, he knows that. Yeah, his Tao is just. Oh god, this isn't good. Oh my god. Whoa! Oh my god, this is a third night. Wait a minute. I don't believe that his wife doesn't exist. You know why? In why would his wife say all of those things to him then if that was all an illusion? Which illusions give you freaking life lessons? I don't believe that. I just realized that. Like, whose illusions give you life lessons? I don't think anyone's illusions do that. If that wasn't actually an illusion. Oh my god. Yeah, like this is the thing. For a while I was thinking, like, is it really possible for um wait, did they ever mention Gabimaru's wife's name? I I think they did, didn't they, in first episode, or am I just like, I don't know. Okay, never mind that. For a moment I was trying to think, like, was that really an illusion? If that was an illusion, It doesn't make sense. Yeah, you know what? I understand if it's an illusion. It might be. But the lessons, the stuff that his wife told him, all these like like things that he was told, how can an illusion do that? Like Gabimaru was a certain type of person. His wife changed him. I don't think any illusion is capable of doing that, of actually changing you as a person. Like what type of an illusion is that? So I refuse to believe she doesn't exist. I refuse to believe that. Unless and until we get a definite proof. And then there was this. Oh my god, my memory's a little bit hazy. I remember there was like a. Where was it? Oh, it was. Wait, I think it was Sagi, wasn't it? Like, okay, wait. Oh my god, here we go. Oh my god, new characters. New monitors. What the? Alright. Alright, so that kind of hints there will probably be a season 2. Okay, let me check. Here we go, Jigokuraku. No announcement has been made, however. Oh no, wait, it has been announced. Oh yeah, it has been announced. Yeah. So there you go. Okay, like I was saying, like the fundamental flaw in this theory that his wife doesn't exist is that his wife actually changed him as a person. If that was an illusion, like there's a few things that I can say here. First of all, you might come up with I guess you could say like an explanation that, oh yeah, it was an illusion and everything that his wife said was actually his heart speaking and his conscience speaking or something like that, and that is how like it kind of worked. I refuse to believe that as well, because if you remember, Gabimaru is a person at that moment who was a killer. His heart was like filled with like, oh, I'm going to kill, like like, and didn't care about anyone and all that, like stuff like that. And very like it was very like like very much like that. So after coming in contact with his wife, he started interacting with her, and little by little, after the various things that his wife told him and everything, he changed as a person. And then in the end, he decided to try to run away. It didn't work, and then he was like captured. It was betrayed, and then like taken to the shogun. And then he was like, oh, like I'm going to be killed, so let me just die. But then he realized, no, I don't want to die. I want to go and meet my wife again. And then like the little amounts of things that his wife actually told him that kind of started changing him as a human being. He got a continuation of that from Sagiri after coming to this island. Sagiri kind of like gave him more, I guess you could say, more stuff, kind of like like kind of similar life lessons, I guess you could say. Sagiri kind of taught him, which kind of made him whole as a person. Like his wife's lessons and then Sagiri's like like lessons and conversations that he had kind of made him change as a human being. So it began with his wife. How is it possible if his wife never existed? Like, I doubt that was his conscience, or I doubt that was his like like his inner heart speaking or whatever. I doubt that is the case, because at that moment he was actually a killer. He wasn't like like in the process of changing or anything like that. His wife came and changed his like like perspective on life. And that kind of makes me think there definitely existed someone. Yeah, he might have just forgotten her name and like everything related to her, probably because of that Tao situation, that when he used a lot of Tao and it kind of like so that maybe. But I don't know, I don't believe that no one. Yeah, like one thing I can believe, maybe, like one thing I can believe, maybe that wasn't his wife, maybe that was some random person. But which random person, like like, yeah, I don't know. But like what I believe is true is that there definitely existed someone. I don't know if it is wife, if it is someone else, like, whoever it might be, there definitely existed someone who gave Gabimaru this new outlook on life, who changed him as a person. Now that might not be his wife, like I said, like that in itself might be an illusion. I have no idea if that's the case. However, there must be someone who existed that kind of like gave him these like things. Like now I might be completely wrong. I'm acting so confident and saying like, oh, I don't believe it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they have some other explanation as to what happened, and maybe it really was an illusion. But I don't know, like in my head it's like 70% of chance I'm thinking that even if it wasn't his wife, even if the fact that it was his wife was an illusion, there must exist someone over there who gave him these life lessons and gave him this new outlook on life. That might not be his wife, I don't know that. That it's in itself might be an illusion. But I'm 100% sure that there must be someone. Because how else is it possible? How will Gabimaru change as a person if that was an illusion? I don't think anyone's illusions changes you as a person. If you are supposed to be like a cold-hearted killer, I don't think your illusion is going to come and talk to you and actually change you as a person. In no way is that possible. Because illusions comes from your own heart. You are the ones who are seeing the illusion. If you are supposed to be a cold-hearted killer, your illusions will also kind of be reflecting or be mirroring your heart. So in no way, in that state where Gabimaru was a cold-hearted killer, will his illusion come and speak to him and kind of change him as a person. In no way is that possible. If that is his illusion, then his illusion must have been someone like him that would reflect his heart at that moment. So how is it possible for someone who was completely opposite to Gabimaru come to his life and change his life if that was just an illusion? I don't think any illusion like that exists. And yeah, so that is the sole reason why I'm saying that there must have been at least someone who gave these like new outlook to life to Gabimaru. Now I'm not 100% sure if that was his wife or if that in itself was an illusion or something else, but there must exist someone like that who gave Gabimaru and changed his outlook on his life. So yeah, there you go. At least that is what I believe for now. I might be completely wrong, and maybe in the future seasons they'll actually explain what's going on, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, something like that. But for now I don't believe that that was an illusion. I genuinely don't believe. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. All right, now next we get to see not next, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about this episode. We begin this episode with Shion coming in and saving everyone and cutting off those those buds. And then Nurugai comes in as well, and Shion is like, quick, take Senta and get out of here and cut the flowers so that it doesn't really spread through his body. And yeah, so Nurugai and all they kind of take Senta and kind of go back, and Shion is kind of facing the Tensen here, and Shion realizes that yeah, this is like the same creature as the other Tensen, and I'm facing someone like that. So he's ready. He can feel the waves, as he called them, and he can fight and using the waves. And since he's using the waves and his waves are compatible with the enemy, yeah, it's actually working here. Now after that we get to see a little bit of Senta. So we were able to take out the flowers and everything from Senta, but he is struggling. He's almost dying. He still has his consciousness, but he is suffering. While all right, and yeah, so I think Yuzura gives him a balm or something to kind of ease his pain, while Shion is over there is fighting the monster. So you can see Shion is actually dealing some damage. And Sage is like, oh wow, so his Tao is compatible with the enemies. Alright. So here, while fighting, Shion kind of got a little bit pricked by the the thing. So flower starts blooming out of his body, and he quickly cuts them off so that it doesn't kind of go in. But it still kind of dealt a lot of damage. The parts where he cut off the flowers, it's actually bleeding, and he's constantly losing blood, and not only in one place, multiple places. So it's like as long like as much as he's like like fighting and kind of pushing the Tensen back, he himself is also losing his power. And he you can see that Shion has completely just like decided that, yeah, like if I die, I die. I'm gonna take this thing down. And like I'm definitely going to do that. I don't care if I burn my life while doing this. While obviously, like like seeing this situation, Uruga is a little bit concerned. She's like, oh no, like like this isn't looking good. And Sagiri's like, okay, like let us go and help him. But Nurgai's like, what will you do? Like you're also like injured, and like I don't think it's going to help much. And so here, Nurgai's like, all right, you know what? I also want to go help Shion, so let me do something. Goes and like at first Yuzura's like, oh, I don't want to go there. I'm tired. I'm weak. I cannot do anything. I'm just going to get in his way. So Nurgai's like, all right, like comes and like hugs her, and Yuzura's like, what are you doing? And Nurgai's like, wait, you don't feel it? And she's like, what? No. And then she's like, okay, that's weird. Goes to Sagiri and hugs her, and Sagiri's like, and she's like, oh, are you getting energized? And Sagiri's like, oh yeah, you're right. So she says like this is kind of like she did this to Shion as well, and it worked for him. So it's kind of like I'm guessing like a Tao technique. Like she said, like she used to do this to his grandpa as well. So Shion explains that all creature produces waves, but there must be various interactions like the elements of Wuxing philosophy. Alright, so there you go. Like I said, in the previous video, I kind of said like it's kind of like the elemental cycle, like in various video games that you see, like, oh, fire is stronger against nature, nature is stronger against water. I think, yeah, water is stronger against fire, like that kind of thing. So something like that, I guess, like like compatibility, just like how Shion is compatible against the Tensen, like what's her name? Nurugai's Tao is probably kind of like like gives additional like healing effect to other people. That's like the nature of her power, and it varies and differs based on compatibility. So I'm guessing he's not compatible with Yuzuriha. However, she's compatible with Shion and Sagiri. So like like latching onto Shion and Sagiri kind of gives the healing properties to them, unlike Yuzuriha where it doesn't work. So something like that. It's kind of interesting because like it makes sense. Like her power, her Tao, what she's using here is restorative Tao, I'm guessing. So the compatibility will actually matter in healing, like like in healing. Like, oh, since Yuzuriha and she isn't compatible, her healing won't work. But her healing will work on Shion and Sagiri. And just like that, how her how her Tao is compatible with a few people. Similarly, Shion's Tao is also compatible with, I guess you could see, in an offensive point towards the Tensen. Offensively, he's compatible with the Tensen. That is, he's going to deal damage to the Tensen, while I guess the Tensen will also deal damage to him. Kind of like that, I think. So the main thing here is, will it work or not? And it also depends on the nature of the Tao. Like, the Tao that Nurugai used was restorative nature, so it heals people. The Tao, the type of Tao that Shion is using to fight is not restorative, it's like offensive, I guess. That is why it works in harming others, unlike Nurugai's, which like heals other people. Like, I guess like it kind of differs based on the nature as well. Something like that, I'm not really sure. Either way, yeah, it makes sense, So, alright, so now Sagiri's like, alright, I'm kind of energized, let's go then. So, Sagiri and Yuzuriha comes, Sagiri and Nurugai comes in, and you can see that Yuzuriha also kind of helped them by giving them the mucus, and it is going to like act as like a protective layer against their skin. So they like put the mucus on their body so that it doesn't like kind of those spores don't affect them. So at first Shion is like, oh, like you'll also get like like involved in this, and the like you might get cut, it will be bad. But they're like, no, it's fine. Like Yuzuriha helped us out with that. Yeah, and she's like, we have these mucus members, so it'll be fine. So Sagiri says that I know that like they're the weakness is the tanden, like that's the source of power, like below the navel. So that is what we should do. So she's like, we are going to distract this thing. You go and attack the navel because you are plenty capable of doing that. And there's freaking two navels. So I think you must be the one to deal the final, the attacking damage. We will act as decoys and we'll be fine because we have this protective layer of Yuzuriha. So, at first Shion was kind of hesitating, but then we see the whole situation is very crazy. Like the thing is constantly attacking us, and you can see that Nurugai kind of dodges pretty nimbly. Sagiri also kind of covers for her when she wasn't able to dodge by attacking, and perfectly in a very good way they're acting as a team and kind of acting as decoys. And Shion is also all right, she's also predicting the movements like me by the flow of the waves, and she might be even more quicker and faster than me. So yeah, she's gotten stronger. It's fine to actually rely on them here. They'll not die. So Shion is like, all right, you know what? Let's go. And he starts going, and while they're acting as decoys. However, the Tencent actually uses those things, those laser beam things, whatever that he uses. And Sagiri does a few other attacks, kind of attacks with a sword. And you can see it's not really going smoothly, but he's attacking and using his strength to kind of a chopping like a tree. He's doing it, like attacking is getting stuck, but then he's powering it through and cutting it off, kind of like that. So yeah, it's difficult, but he's kind of doing it. Now obviously they cannot really continue this for a long time. Sagiri is getting exhausted. She's literally using her life force, so she's almost spilling blood out from her mouth, while Shion is losing blood as well. It's a messy situation, and then these laser beam things that are shooting all over the place. Nurugai almost gets caught in it, but Sagiri grabs her and starts running. So yeah, you can see that Shion is no, even if I have to completely exhaust my life energy, I'm going to do this. I'm going to destroy this thing here. And she exerts all force and powers up kind of momentarily and goes up. And Shion and Sagiri and Nurugai kind of pinned down two of the hands. Taking that opportunity, Shion goes up and Shion is all right, let's do this. Envelops the blade in the Tao and he's ready to strike. And he's all right, one chance I've only got, but is it really the navel? I'm not really seeing any kind of clump of Tao over there. So is it really the navel? And he's kind of thinking he's what should I do? And here is where Senta comes in, and Senta's screaming. Senta's it's not the navel. This thing is a flower, and for flowers, it's usually the ovule. And you can see his knowledge kind of came into very help to us here. And he's the ovule is the center of all the power over in plants. So do that. You see there's a little round thing between them. That is the ovule. Get that. And Shion is all right, he sees that, cuts it open, and there's these little heads over there. And this the Tencent, he's oh, beautiful, a man prepared to die, space between life and death. I could never attain such perfect yin and yang. And this is one thing that we've always learned from this, this whole thing. This show is all about the middle path. If you realize it, everything about this show is about the middle path. Follow the middle. Not any extremities, which is very much, I can say, very much what can I say? It reminds me of the teachings of Lord Buddha. The Buddhist teachings always they focus on the middle path. You don't have to suffer too much. Neither they tell you to go in luxury too much either. Following the middle path, not of any of the extremities. And this show always this is one thing I've been kind of noticing. This show always kind of highlights that it's always the middle path. Here again, the Tencent is I could never attain such perfect yin and yang. He's in the middle of life and death, and that is beautiful. That is perfection. And I was never able to do that in my life. And he's actually fascinated, and he's like, oh, I like, like before I died, I wish I could have shown this to Rian. I think he says, yeah, Rian, that's the name, Rian. And then he gets killed. And you can see here how much these Tencent are actually just so focused on their research, or their like their what do you call it, their search for knowledge. That's kind of impressive, in a way. In a way, it's kind of impressive. Like, the things that they are doing are kind of messed up, and obviously what they're doing is not correct at all. However, you have to applaud them, their, I guess you could say, their conviction, and their their focus on their goal is like, oh, which is gaining knowledge and attaining the perfect the balance, the perfect balance, and walking through the perfect path. Like, that is their goal. Their goal is to be like the, I guess you could say, the perfect human being or something like that. And to do that, they have to reach the middle path. And he was able to see a human in front of him who was almost able to do that. In the middle of life and death, he was there just standing. And that, he was like, this is beautiful, this is always what I've wanted to attain. And he's like he doesn't even think of his death over there. He's like, this is amazing. And like I said, that is one thing that I can applaud about this guy, that these people, these Tencent, they're actually so focused about their their goal. And they're actually, what can I say, that is something that is applaudable, even though the stuff they're doing are just something that shouldn't be allowed, and they're completely in the wrong. They're heinous people, they're heinous human beings, they're bad, they're evil. However, I can applaud the fact that these people are actually kind of focused on their goals so much that even in front of death, he's like, oh, this is beautiful, that kind of thing. These type of characters are very rare in anime. There's like a handful of these people who, I guess, who are evil, but you at least can applaud their way of life. That is one thing you can applaud. Their conviction, their focus, that is one thing you can applaud. Even though their morals and their morality is not really good, you cannot applaud that. And yeah, obviously they should get justice, but it's very very impressive, someone is that focused in something. That in itself is worthy of an applause. And like I said, these type of characters are very rare in anime, actually villain, I guess you could say, villain characters who are like this. So it's always nice to get to see one or two characters like this. I remember another character like this, and this guy, this Tencent was a lot, I guess you could say, a lot tamer. But another extreme example of a character like this, who is one of the most messed up individuals I've ever seen, and deserves to be punished and completely just obliterated. He doesn't deserve to live. Still, I have respect for that person because of his sheer commitment and focus. That is, if you guys have seen Made in Abyss, is Bondred. If you have seen that show, is one of the most trashiest characters and one of the most evil people that ever exist in all of anime history. However, there's a part of him that is fully focused on something, and it's so much that you are actually fascinated by it. You're like, how can someone be like this? That in itself is something worthy of applause, and I can see something like that in this guy as well. And if you've lived so long, I guess you kind of become like that. Life and death kind of becomes something that is just trivial for you. You're like, yeah, I'm just here for knowledge, that kind of thing. And he's like that. He's someone like that. And I guess that is why he was able to ascend to be a Tencent, unlike all the others. So yeah, you know what? That's one thing that I can applaud, his sheer focus and commitment. Otherwise, nah, he deserved, that, because of the things that he's doing, this whole experiment thing that he's doing and all that. No. So yeah, all the other Tencents I'm guessing are also kind of like this, but we'll see. And yeah, he dies, and the whole place is filled with flowers. And here you can see that Shion kind of said something before, people like you who have completely lost the fear of death and who doesn't care about because death is such a trivial thing for you. I need to show you and teach you the fear of that, and show you how important life is for us people, because you guys make it a plaything, make life a plaything, so I don't know, like I feel like, like seeing how we were able to defeat one of the Tensen, the other Tensens are going to get a little bit panicked. Maybe they'll be like, damn, this actually happened. Because up until now they were all like, ah, it's fine, in no way can they do anything to us, like kind of like that attitude. But now they'll be like, oh well, maybe they can actually do something, maybe we were wrong in judging them. But we'll see. Says season 2 will probably tell us more about the other stuff. Either way, so later on after that we get to go to Senta, and we're like, oh, like can we save Senta? And Yuzura's like, he'll leave for another half an hour, and Sagi's like, can we not give him the bomb that you're using? And she's like, yeah, we can do that, but I think I have only one left. I think you should give it to Shion, like, because his situation is a lot more better. Like if I give him this, it'll be more effective. It won't really, even if I like somehow am able to keep Senta alive, it wouldn't really be good in the long run. And I'm going to read this part because I feel like a few people might kind of, I don't know, like I don't know, like the people nowadays are just crazy. So I feel like a few people might actually take this whole section in a wrong way and might try to say like, oh no, Yuzuru is bad and stuff. But like what she said here is it makes sense. Like what she says. Okay, I'm going to read it here. Like she prioritized, what can I say? She prioritized realism, I guess that's what she says, over her emotions. Okay, here I'm going to read this part. Shinobi are realists. We can tell the difference between suffering that should be overcome and suffering that's pointless to endure. This line. So yeah, literally, obviously we can see Senta and we can say that, yeah, even if Senta is somehow kept alive, first of all, he's going to still suffer. Like, his eyes are completely gone, number one. He's suffering, he's like almost dying, and we'll just be barely keeping him alive. And then not only that, like he won't be able to do anything after that. He'll just be there, staying like laying down. And maybe it's like, we're still able to save him. But like in this type of situation, picking Senta, as she's saying, as a realist, picking Senta in this situation and not giving Shion the bomb is actually not good. Because using that same bomb, like like if I give it to Shion, he'll survive and he'll at least won't suffer after this. Even if we give this to Senta, he'll survive, but he'll still suffer. And that's what she says, like like suffering that should be overcome and suffering that's pointless to endure. All right, so you can see that Sagiri is crying. She says like, I'm sure you know this, but you're not going to make it. Yeah, so basically, like like if you give Senta the medicine, you're literally kind of keeping him alive forcefully, and like he's still going to suffer, and in the end, by the end of it, we might be able to prolong his life a little bit more, but then he'll die after that. So yeah, and then she says like this is the final amount, like like your life, so no need for taking any responsibilities, like throw away your responsibility, your lineage, everything that always constricted you and never gave you freedom, so become free now. This is the final moment of your life. And she says you don't need to hold on to your job or your pride anymore. You can relax now. You've always lied to yourself, right? At the very end, think about whatever you want to think about. Yeah, because he never was able to think of the stuff that he likes. Like he was never allowed to sketch and like paint. Your family, a pet cat, a sweetheart you left back at home. Picture them in your heart as you die beholding a beautiful sight. Yeah, and he's kind of thinking of all the things that he liked, and in the end he kind of like imagines himself dying with like with Yuzura kind of like holding him. And there you go. After that, he dies, and yeah. Later on, Sayuri kind of thanks Yuzura, and she's like, "Thank you for showing me the way, because otherwise I would have made a mistake." Because yeah, like if we gave Senta the medicine, we would literally be keeping him alive and he'd still suffer, while at the same time Shion would also suffer without getting any medicine. So it would have been, I guess you could say, a very, like, what can I say? Like, it wouldn't be a good way of, like, like good solution in this situation. Like, like if Sagari actually worked according to her emotions, this would have happened. And that's why Sagari's like, thank you for kind of like, steering me in the right direction. Otherwise, I would have made these two suffer even more, you know. And this is the thing, like this is one thing that takes a lot of courage and a lot of, like, I guess you could say, determination. That is to take decisions like this, like dirting your own hand, and like kind of like not staying in the neutral position, or kind of like like actually like like taking a step like this, which would actually help out in the future. A lot of people are not able to do that. Here obviously what Yuzuriha did was she had to be harsh, and she had to kill her emotions to take the rational decision in this situation, which actually kind of in the end kind of worked out. And like people suffered the least. If we followed what Sagiri said, we'd be giving the, like medicine to Senta wouldn't die. However, he would still suffer and then eventually die. And Sagiri, Shion would also suffer a lot because he wouldn't get any medicine. That would have happened. So the fact that like Yuzura was able to take that decision, a harsh decision, she had to like take that harsh decision. But yeah, that shows how that is one form of courage. Courage to actually take these type of decisions when it matters. That is also another form of courage, and that is very important. Sometimes. Alright, anyways, so they're like, let's get out of here first. Sagiri here kind of thanks Yuzuri, and she's like, thank you for stopping me. Your cool head saved me. And Sagiri's like, but from here onwards, I'm not going to let anyone die. I will leave this island alive. Now after that, we see like Gamiro kind of wakes up, and Gamiro's like kind of looking everywhere, and he's like, what the hell is this? Who are you guys? And I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on? And then they kind of explain this whole thing later on. Alright, they go in even deeper, and kind of find a place where there's like dress and everything, and Yuzuri's like, oh, let's dress up, or let's kind of change the dress. Shion also needed a change of dress as well. So, what's funny here? At first I was like, wait a minute, are they going to like change in front of Shion? And then I realized, oh, he's blind. That was one of the most funny realizations. I was like, wait, are they changing in front of Shion? And then I'm like, oh wait, he's blind. Like he acts so normally, I forgot that he's blind. Oh my god, that's actually crazy. Kind of like like just this. I also felt the same, like like I'm pretty sure everyone who has watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, the whole like like whenever you looked at Toph, you also felt like this. Sometimes you would actually forget that Toph is blind. The way like she so like easily did everything. Like, and here as well, Shion is actually blind. I actually forgot because he's like she like he like walks around and like fights so normally. I forgot for a moment that he cannot see. What the hell? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's blind. That's why it's fine, I guess, if they change here. Oh god. Either way, okay. After that, so Shion is like we need to make a proper plan as to what we should do. And he also says that you should also be very careful in using your Tao, because it might actually like make you suffer. Like it's actually you're using your life energy. And we see the two brothers, they're actually like kind of taking that thing, that doshi, to like like kind of interrogating him or something like that. And here Shion says like sometimes this works on memories as well, and that's when it clicked. I'm like, oh my god, so Gamura actually forgot. So next we get to the important part, the important discussion here. We start talking about the elixir of life. So usually as like that thing doesn't exist, so what do we do now? The shogun won't accept it, like just like that. And something like that might exist, which is the Tan. However, the elixir of life doesn't exist. And and Sagi's like, wait a minute, but like Gabimaru said that the elixir of life exists. Their village chief used that. He doesn't die. And here Yuzuriha says something. Oh, maybe that's just an illusion, because in ninja villages that happens to kind of strike fear into the people and everything. Like they do that. And then she, like, that part was fine. I'm like, all right, makes sense. But then she starts talking about like Gabimaru's wife, and she's like it's weird that he has a wife because shinobi are merely pawns. It's different for women, but would they really have a young man get married? Okay, you cannot control people using only fear. They need something stronger to motivate them to complete suicidal missions. So Yuzuriha is saying like that was like the way they made Gabimaru like do the stuff. But I don't believe it in no way. Like the fact that like the fact that Gabimaru changed from a cold-hearted killer to someone like this shows that there must be someone who imparted these like kind of showed him the way. How can an illusion do that? In no way can an illusion do something like that. How is that possible? Like I cannot even fathom and kind of envision an illusion giving you freaking life lessons like his wife did. I cannot envision something like that. It is impossible. So I still believe, even if the whole wife thing was an illusion, maybe there was someone who actually gave him these 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 things, like these way of looking at life, kind of how you should live your life and these type of things, who shared it with them and kind of changed Gabimaru as a person. So I can understand what Yuzuru is telling. Like from this point onwards, I was so surprised. I'm trying to think like, what the hell? Like, is that really possible? Because yeah, few things that Yuzuru says kind of aligns with what happened. First of all, like we don't know her name. Gabimaru never really talks about her that much. And like we never really got to see. Okay, I'm going to read this part. Yuzuru says, but Gabimaru's wife, was it? Does she actually exist? And she says that, what's her name? Have you actually seen her? Maybe that's the chief's special illusion. Do you even remember how she looks like? Okay, first thing, how the hell would Sagiri know how she looks like? That I don't understand why she said that. Like Gabimaru should know that. So I don't know why she asked Sagiri that question. How will Sagiri know how she looks like? Anyways, but I can understand what she's saying, and it kind of aligns because I don't think they actually mentioned her name. Did they? I don't know. And then a few other things also kind of bugged me in a weird way, that like like a few things, like I was like, oh, I don't know. But still, I don't think like I don't still believe that Yuzuru is correct in this situation. Because yeah, like if it was an illusion, it would be something that just was like like kind of like that, like just an illusion. The fact that his wife actually changed him as a person, or at least started changing him as a person, and he started thinking of something else and be like, oh, you know what, you remember that episode where Gabimaru comes in with like like with some like money or something, and like his wife is like, oh, you actually went out and like like I understand, like I understand your job, don't worry about it. But like here Gabimaru kind of realized like, oh, this way of living, killing people, is not the way. Like she's getting sadder, and she's not able to kind of like stomach that. And he decided to change after that, and that's when he brought the proposition of like, oh, I want to leave the village to the village chief, and the village chief was like, all right, fine, go, but you do this final mission, and then backstabbed him. That whole thing that happened. So that, you think an illusion did that? An illusion actually became sad when Gabimaru came in and brought like the money, and she was like, oh, like like that whole flashback that we saw. You think that an illusion did that? I don't believe that. How can an illusion be that human? You know what I mean? Like I genuinely don't understand this part. like I said, I might be completely wrong. Maybe there's a different explanation to this whole thing, but I don't think that this whole thing was an illusion. At least someone definitely existed who helped the Gabimaru change. It might be his wife, it might be someone else. I don't know. Maybe the wife part is the illusion. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that definitely someone existed. In no way is that possible. But again, I might be wrong. Let's wait for the future seasons and let's see what happens. Um, but at the same time, I feel like this would be a very interesting twist if his wife actually never existed. But I kind of don't believe it. It seems too unnatural. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to stop thinking and raking my brain over this. Let me just wait for this next season. Maybe we'll get a few more answers. Now, after that, you can see that, like, Gabimaru cannot remember anything, and Gabimaru's like, who are these people? I don't know anything. And he's like, okay, let me just kind of play along with them. And if something like happens, I can just silence them. And you can see that May kind of realizes that something is wrong with him because Gabimaru's Tao in his head is kind of gone. So, like his memory is kind of missing. I guess that kind of denotes that. So either way, like it's kind of, it's not good with Gabimaru. Now, here's one thing I wholeheartedly believe. Even if he lost his memories, a person's nature is ingrained in their soul. So I don't believe that even if he lost his memories, I'm pretty sure the values that he gained as a person, the values that he gained from his wife and Sagiri, and how he changed as a human being, that is still there, even if he doesn't remember that. So I don't think it would be that, I don't know, maybe he'll become a lot more careful, lot more ruthless again. But I feel like as a person from the inside, he'll still be that genuine person, that changed person. And who knows, maybe after seeing Sagiri, some memories might come back to him. I'm not really sure. Let's wait. The fact is that Sagiri is not with Gabimaru, so maybe it's not triggering in his head. But I'm sure it's going to come back, the memories, because at the end of the day, it's just memories. As a person who he is from the inside, that doesn't change that easily. So we'll see. Either way, Sagiri is kind of concerned about this whole situation, and she's outside looking at the moon. Shion comes in, and Shion is tries to cheer her up, and they kind of talk about all the people that they have lost, and Sagiri's like, oh, I wonder what Gabimaru is doing, and Shion is like, Sagiri, don't tell me you love, and she's like, oh no, not at all, direct. And she's like, the way you assume things as romantic is a bad habit of yours. And then Shion is like, but then it's clear that you feel strongly about him, beyond what's appropriate for your status. What are you to Gabimaru? And I would say that for her, Gabimaru is like a person who actually taught her more about herself. Looking at Gabimaru, she realized her own feelings about the whole situation, and as a person who she should be. After looking at Gabimaru, she realized that. The whole, you remember the first two episodes where she saw how Gabimaru is also being burdened by the same amount of things that she's being burdened with, but he's still so very focused and resolute in his path, and stuff like that, and how the burdens that she always thought is weighing her sword, how Gabimaru always just kind of just cast that aside, that thing, that is how it taught her how to live. Gabimaru, looking at Gabimaru and the way Gabimaru lives his life, kind of showed Sagiri how to live her own life, which kind of makes me realize that it's kind of similar to Yuzuriha and Senta's situation as well, where Senta also kind of saw Yuzuriha and learned how to live his life. Yeah, in a weird way, it's very coincidental. Not coincidental, but what's that word? Very similar. How both the situations are actually so similar. Yuzuriha was a free spirit. She was filled with freedom. Senta admired that and really wanted to be like her. Similar to that, Gabimaru, the way he lived his life motivated Sagiri as to how to live her own life. So something like that. So yeah, like that is like a huge that has made a huge impression in her. And not only that, realizing that Gabimaru is not really a cold-hearted killer also kind of changed his her opinion on him, and a lot of other things. So yeah, it's a, I guess you could say it's an admiration, adoration, like a mixture of both, that she has, the feeling that she has towards Gabimaru. And yeah, she just wants to, like, like see him safe and go back to his wife, because yeah, she said that in one of the previous episodes. She was like, I just want him to go back as a, like, he's a proper human being. He's not a cold-hearted killer as I thought. So yeah, I want him to succeed in his goal, that is go back to his wife and live his life peacefully. And yeah, that is, I feel like that is what Sagiri feels about Gabimaru. Either way, yeah, he's okay. She also kind of says, born in a village of killers, he killed as he was told. He experienced love, but it makes his past life suffer. On top of that, like Yuriziha-san said, if what motivates him is a deception as well, that's simply too sad. Yeah, he's a heinous killer. He's a killer, but I don't believe he's a bad person. Which is why I believe they'll be reunited. He'll never give up. However, then we kind of switch to Gabimaru, and we see Gabimaru just sitting with his eyes just like, like angry and everything. And he's trying to remember, but he cannot remember. The person who is beside her is missing now. He has lost the memories. So, yeah, and that is where it ended. So there you go. A really good final episode, I have to say. The fact that, again, like, and I just realized how strong Gabimaru is by seeing how they actually needed 3 people, almost 4 people, to 5 people, if you think about it, because Yuzuriha also kind of helped, by giving them the mucus. So almost 5 people they needed to defeat, like the Tensen, while Gabimaru almost soloed one of the Tensen. Almost. I'm like, damn, this guy is actually strong. Like, Gabimaru is like way stronger than we can even imagine. Either way, like a few interesting things came up here. The whole section in the end with the whole illusion thing. Like I said, I don't believe, I kind of am still like, with Sagiri. I kind of believe what Sagiri believes, that there definitely someone like that definitely exists. I don't think that was a deception or an illusion. And as Sagiri says, that I hope they will be reunited. Even though, Gabimaru was kind of missing the memories. Like I said, as a person, your nature doesn't change. He became a nice person, he changed his nature. So I think that thing is still ingrained in his soul and heart. So I'm sure everything will be fine in that regards. But the big question here is his wife really an illusion? So yeah, I'm with Sagiri here. I don't believe that she's an illusion. I still wholeheartedly believe that she exists. And but like I said, like, it would be a very interesting twist if his wife was actually an illusion. That would be a very interesting twist. But I don't know, I'm with Sagiri, because I don't think an illusion can actually change you as a person. An illusion is an illusion. That's it. That's the extent that it will go to. His wife actually changed him as a person. His very nature, she decided she was able to change. So I don't think any illusion has any power like that to do something like that. Either way, that is it, guys. That is my reaction to episode number 13 and the final episode of this season for Jigokuraku. Hopefully we get we got a announcement. I don't know when it's going to come, but surely sometime in the future. So yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video that I make. Another anime will be replacing this. So yeah, see you guys then. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.